You have what?
I got a new phone.
Woo!
Ooh, but I haven't set it up for Facebook yet. Okay, we're live, Carlos. We are live on FollowUP Friday, April 23rd, episode 65, my man. Episode 65. I'm going to drop the link to an article that we kind of will be discussing and talking a little bit about. I also have our guy, Big Time Zig Ziglar, talking a little bit about goals. I was going to rock him for a minute. Let's start him out for a minute. And we can talk a little bit about the Big Zig as well. Give me a sec here. I'll play Big Zig for a second. Let's see. We're going to
An old recording.
Yeah. All right, let's go. Big Zig.
The third reason a lot of people learn about what success is and about what life is, and I would like to, during these next few minutes, climb down right inside of your mind. I'd like to climb down in your emotions. I'm going to motivate you. I'm going to say some things to you that are going to have an impact, and you will, in fact, not be the same when you get up from your seats at the end of this evening. On your trip to Acapulco, there were several things involved. First of all, you had a very specific goal. Second, you had a time limit. And third, you listed the obstacles, the things you had to do in order to get the trip to Acapulco. I'm going to talk to you tonight about goals. There are four basic reasons why people do not have goals. Number one, they have not been sold. Now, friends, I'm flat going to sell you on why you got to have them. I didn't say I wanted to. I didn't say I was going to try to. Didn't say I hope to. I flat said I'm going to sell you on why you must have them. The second reason a lot of people don't have goals is they do not know how to set those goals. I'm going to give you a basic formula for setting those goals that will be precise if you will follow it. The third reason a lot of people do not have goals is they have fear. You see, there's a certain amount of risk involved when you say, this I'm going to do. Even if you do not tell anyone else, when you set a goal, there's a certain amount of risk involved. Then the fourth reason a lot of people do not have goals is because they have a poor self-image. If you do not think you deserve success, if you do not think you deserve a bigger home, to be $1 million producer, to have an outstanding mate, or beautiful, well-disciplined children who are productive, if you don't think you deserve them, then you'll do things that will keep you from getting them. Let's look at number one. Let's sell you on the idea of having goals. Are they important?
All right, Carlos. All right, that's your guy, Zig Ziglar.
It is. It is. I love it. I absolutely love it. Goals. I learned to set goals when I was real young from him. And it was a big thing. And I've always done it. And I've told you this many times. I think I work backwards. You know, I set those goals and I work it backwards. However, and that's all I've ever accomplished. That's all I've ever done is work towards my goals. You know, I don't look at what other people are doing. I don't look at what other people have done. You know, I set my goals and I try to achieve them as I go. Now, I even set a goal. I'll tell you this right now. From this guy, I set this goal when I was 19 years old, maybe 20. I set this goal that no, it was when I was 23. I know it was. When I was 23 years old, I set this goal because when I was 43, I needed to be at a certain amount. And I needed to be at a certain way. And I knew, and the reason why I did this is because it was right before I chose to have kids. And I love this guy because he's family and business.
Yeah.
You know, he cares about his wife. It is important. It's all about family, a family and business. And, you got to set your goals in everything you do, your personal life and your business life.
Mm-hmm.
And And I chose, okay, if I have my kids now, I'll be 43 years old and I'll still be young enough to be able to play basketball with my kids. Play, I don't know what they were going to do. I didn't, I just, play basketball, throw a football, throw a baseball, whatever, be active, go swimming. I can still do and have fun by the time they're 18 to be able to have, go to their, if they're doing college sports or whatever, to be able to be active. And my goal was to be semi, not necessarily retired, but I wanted to slow down.
Right.
I wanted to slow down and be able to enjoy my family, them being able to, if they have college sports or if they have kids or, whatever, I'm going to be young enough to know, okay, I have kids here. And at this age, I'm going to be able to still enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
So 43 comes around and I didn't quite hit my goals.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I knew by the time they graduated, I know where I needed to be and where I've been working towards. And it's gone fast. Let me tell you, it has gone real fast. But I have had short-term goals. I set my daily goals. I set my weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly. And I also set my 5-year, 10-year, and, I even set to, it was 18 years, but you have to set those goals. You have to all the way through your life. You got to set your life goals. You got to set your business goals. You got to set all those.
Yep. Absolutely. And he talked about like the reasons like why people don't do that, the 4 reasons why they don't do that, and obviously the one that jumps out at me is, he said, they're not sold, they don't know how, there's fear, and then there's poor self-image. But the one that jumps out at me is fear. I think that once we do set goals, we're afraid, maybe I've been afraid of the work that it's going to take to achieve those, or the amount of effort that's going to be required, the consistency, the follow-up that's going to be required in order for me to achieve those goals. So I know there's been a tendency for me to have that fear, in the past. Now I'm also a high risk person. So, fear is not something that, that really stops me. But certainly procrastination plays a part, because even though I may not fear setting goals, I certainly fear procrastination.
But and the thing is I was a huge procrastinator when I was young. Huge.
Yeah.
When I first started out in business.
Yeah.
Huge procrastinator. It was, I admitted it. I knew it. I learned what procrastination was real quick. You know what I mean? And I changed that. And people do get fear from thinking that those goals aren't achievable, or putting that in their mind. And I love the self-esteem,
Yeah.
If you feel that you're not going to be able to do it, you're not going to do it.
Yep.
You have to have it in your mindset that you're going to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you got to set some stupid, ridiculous goals. I mean, you got to, and I can tell you this much. I think I've done it since I was a kid, because my parents taught me it. I think it's not one of those things they said that you got to set your goals. You got to teach. They didn't teach me like that. It's just they educated me. They didn't say you got to have goals. They didn't even use the word goals.
Yeah.
They just said, hey, if you want to be, we watch sports, and I was in gymnastics, and I wanted to go to the Olympics. I watched Olympic sports. If you watch it every summer, every 4 years, you watch those Olympic sports, and you're a little kid and you dream that you want to be one of those guys. That's what I did.
Right.
I wanted to go to the Olympics. So guess what? I worked my tail off in gymnastics, and I worked my tail off. And it might not have said I got a goal, but I know that the Olympics was my goal.
Yep. Yep.
So what did I do? I worked my tail off as much as I possibly could. College was still there too. Don't forget, I had to pay my way through college. My parents literally put it through my mind is you have to pay for college. They're not paying for it. They had no money. They didn't have the money to pay me through college. So gymnastics was going to pay, get me that scholarships. So I had scholarships, gymnastics, I had school, I had, the Olympics. I had plenty to do.
Hey, I've got Angela Shopper, my longtime friend. Hi, Angela. Can you hear us? She can hear us. She's got to get her audio together. Hold on. You may have muted yourself, Ange. Yeah, you muted yourself, honey. Oh, hold on. There you go. Now you go. Say something, Ange. No.
Your computer.
Oh, yeah, your computer maybe.
Computer speaker.
The computer mic, right?
Yeah.
Select the mic. So while she's getting her audio, she'll get it together. Angela Sharp. So Angela Shopper, guys, is the broker for Wingman Realty. And Angela and I have known each other for 20-some years. It's 20-some years. And we got our master's degree together at Baker University many years ago.
Wow.
Yes, we did. And Angela she is a sharp cookie. Sharp cookie, man. I remember in our master's class, she would always roll in like I did. Like we would roll in like right before that joker started, and we'd have to find a seat. And but we'd have presentations, and Angela was a sharp presenter, and it didn't surprise me she'd go on and be extremely successful. So I just DM'd her and I was like, join us, Ange, join us. So. And get that volume working. We want to hear you.
Are you using a laptop or a computer? Type it in.
Oh, laptop. She's on laptop.
Laptop.
It's probably the mic. It's probably the mic that's
down at the bottom right where you turn up your speaker loud.
So she'll figure it out. But Carlos, so obviously Anna, and also Anna works over Wingman. That's Angela. Yeah. Angela's the broker for Wingman Realty.
I have some decals to print for her.
Ah, that's right. You did do I saw that.
I have some more that are already printed and ready, and I need to go install them this weekend.
I saw that. You know what? I took a picture of that when I was.
Does that work?
Yes. I told you Ange can figure it out. She's sharp. What's up, Ange? Ange, we can hear you.
We did
hear you. Oh, maybe. Okay, Ange, can you because if you unmute that, she has to mute. Oh, she muted herself. Okay. So hit unmute. Anyway, Carlos, I was over there and I saw the
decals.
Yeah, that looked great.
The windows?
Yes, that hit great. That looked wonderful, actually. That looked wonderful. But anyway, we're talking about those goals. So fear, obviously. I also like they don't know how. Oh, she's putting her headset on. Okay, Angela's getting high tech on us. Come on with it, Angela. Come on.
Where's mine? I gotta get my speaker working.
Ange, can you hear us? Can you hear us? Maybe she muted her. So we can hear you. Say something, Angela.
We did hear you.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
Yep. We heard you initially. But Carlos, tell me about don't know how to set goals. Why do people, because I start off my goal setting with my New Year's resolutions. That's really the start of it for me. I just write down all the things I want to get done and accomplish. And then I go through and identify, like, what do I need to do in order to do those? And then I put them into when they're going to get done. And then I have a list of those goals that I can check against when they need to be done. But why is that such a challenge?
It is. It's a challenge for a lot of people because, for one.
Oh, there you go. Ange, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you. Turn yourself up just a smidgen. We can hear you, though.
Turn myself up.
Oh, there you go.
The volume.
Put the mic closer to your mouth. We can hear you though.
Okay.
What's up, Angela Shopper? How you doing, my good friend?
Pretty good.
Thanks
I
for
see you
joining
guys.
us.
I was watching you guys on my Facebook Live.
You know, most people would not impromptuously accept an invite and jump on. However, I know with whom I'm working with, and you are the queen of impromptuousness and on the fly.
I probably wouldn't have jumped on if you would have invited me in advance.
So, Carlos, Angela and I in our MBA class were the king and queen of on the fly presentations. So I knew Angela wouldn't have a problem jumping on. Ange, did you prepare for the presentation? No. What do you want me to talk about, Steve?
We'll wing it.
No wonder where we get this every Friday.
Ange, how you doing? Tell us about your brokerage. Tell us about Wingman Realty, because everybody's got to have a wingman. So tell us about Wingman Realty.
Hey, what other brokerage has win right in it? Right?
Exactly. That's right. Winning.
Man, we're growing. I just hired Mike. We have a sales manager now, and he's recruiting agents, and we're possibly going to need your help, Carlos, because if we grow fast enough, we're going to take over that corner office, and we're going to want a huge window display.
Oh, yeah, the one next door.
Nope, all the way at the corner where
yeah.
Roger the plumber used to be.
Yeah, down there. Yeah, down the way. Yep. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's a lot of window space.
Angela, how did you get into real estate? I mean, I know your background very well, but why don't you just give us a quick one over in terms of how you ended up getting into real estate and a little bit about yourself.
Man, I was just trying to join this conversation about goals and goal setting. I love that. I listen to the 10X literally every morning on my way to work. It jazzes me. I get here and I'm just like, we're on fire, guys. We got to dominate.
Is that Grant Cardone?
Yes.
Yeah. I love that guy, man. He's like tough love. Like, get off the pot. Just quit sitting there and not doing shit with your life. Man, he fires me up.
Yeah, well, it's not that accountability.
Do you so what do you think of the goals, Angela?
I didn't catch what your goals were. You want me to weigh in on your goals?
Just like, what do you think of the goal setting? You know, why people are scared to set goals, or why people don't set goals, or maybe they don't follow their goals.
You know, I think a lot of people just live by default. They just kind of let whatever happens happen to them. And that's why I love, Grant Cardone. He tells it straight like it is. It's like, you can have an average life without even trying. That's your default. You're going to have an average life by default. You have to try. You have to do extensive activities, right? To boost yourself to that next level. Right. You have to actually run hard. You can't just like let life happen to you. That's average. And if no one sets out for an average life. Everyone wants, they envision themselves with whatever life that is. And they don't say, man, I really hope I have an average life, or I really want to set some average goals so I can just default around as average. I mean, it's just not a good goal. So you gotta set big goals. And like Grant says, if your goal is, if you're going to win the lottery, would you just want to win $1,000, or would you want to win the $10 million lottery? You have to set goals that get you excited. And being average isn't, I want to make enough money to live on. That's a terrible goal. Like, what kind of goal is that?
Right.
That should just be your default.
And Stephen, and I think people don't understand how to set those goals or what's necessary to set those goals. What process. There's a lot of people that just don't know how to do that. Like you said, like you do your resolution, but you know what, Stephen, I can be honest with you. I don't, what's New Year's resolution? I don't do New Year's resolutions. It's not that I believe that people, it's a good thing for people to get reset,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just, I don't live like that because I set my goals when I started in the sales business when I was 18 years old, and I live off goals. So it's a daily, weekly, monthly
That's
goal.
just it. Yeah, that's just it. If something is important, really, really important, you don't just look at it once a year. You look at it every day. Every day you have to have a goal.
Yeah. And if you're in business or you start a business or you're in business now and you don't have goals, it's time to set them. It's time to get them set up. It's time to start following them, start structuring your life around them and you got to have it in your personal life. It's not just business.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Fitness.
Right. And you have to have them in your personal life. Now, this is a big thing now. People are trying to better themselves in health. But I also have goals. I have certain vehicles that I want to get. I have certain, I want to get a boat. I want to accomplish things. I want to save money for college education, which I never had available to me. I want to, accomplish things. I want to travel. You got to set goals of things that you want to do in life, in personal life and business life.
And that process for me, Carlos, is, so I say like the resolution, it's really just like at the end of the year, it's like, let me recap and reflect on what I accomplished this year. And then after reflecting, it's like, okay, well, what do I want to do next year? And it's just as simple as pulling out a piece of paper, putting things down on paper. I think when we talk about why people don't and how to do it, I think one of the first things is we got to have a pen and a piece of paper or whatever you use, but you got to get some of that stuff out of your head and get it either on paper or in some electronic form so that you can look at it and see it, because there's a lot of things going on up in here, right? We have 60,000 thoughts running through our head through the day easily, right? So it's easy for those thoughts of what we want to do to get distracted and lost. But that process of writing things down or typing up whatever, is helpful and it is beneficial. And, I activate that stuff as well. So you can see my phone. So one of my goals, this is one of my goals, right? That's
41,000 per month.
Yeah, do not disturb.
Yeah, that too. But that's my goal. One of my goals is my annually what I want to target. Yeah. And so I know, as we've talked about before, I know that means I have to have so much activity, but then I also have to activate that right through that process of mental stimulation to where I can see it every day so that I'm reminded about, okay, you know what, subconsciously, I need this to pop up because I might be a little tired today, or I might be a little, lazy today. So when that pops up and some of the other affirmations of goals that I've got, that reminds me consciously and subconsciously, I got to get active and get moving. You know what I mean? I got to get active and get moving. So I think part of it is writing stuff down. That to me is a big reason why people don't set goals. They don't write stuff down and they think, oh, well, I'll remember it.
No, I started with a piece of paper. That's all I've ever done. I guess I don't have goals on the computer. I've done it on piece of papers. I've done it on notepads for 22 years.
But I think it's important to remember that goals are not the same as a to-do list. Right. And your to-do list has to reflect the activities needed for your goals. So if you have a to-do list and it's full of go take your car in and get an oil change and, run by the store to pick up toothpaste, then those things are not activities that are getting you closer to your goals. And each day when you reflect on what your goals are, you're writing your goals and your what you want to accomplish each day. The majority of it should be stuff that's getting you to your next goal.
Right.
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 Yeah, it's and that's my biggest thing is I see a lot of people that don't do it, that don't set it, and they don't use it, you know. And you got to have those, you know, major goals. Yeah, Connie, vision boards. If people aren't using vision boards, now I do have some computer stuff of my vision board. I have, you know, a file saved that this is what I want and this is what I need in my personal and business life. So vision boards are huge. People can use vision boards if they don't want to put a board up in their office. You know, we have an agent in our office that has a vision board right behind her desk. You know, but vision boards are huge, or just setting those goals of, yeah, see, Connie has it on her refrigerator. You know, some people, you just got to have it put out there, and you got to have it on paper, and you got to see it all the time. It's got to be in front of you. Like Grant Cardone does it his in the morning and night. And that's exactly, I mean, I look at it all the time, every day. Mm-hmm. I do it in the mornings, and, you know, I see it in the mornings, and he does it at night too, but I don't.
Well, on top of that, he is logging what he's doing during the day. And I think so much of your day is wasted. Like, right. If you just start like keeping track of what you're doing during the day, you'll notice that you have all of this wasted time that you've used. And a lot of it is just distractions and things that come up unscheduled. You know, someone will stop in my office and ask a question about a real estate thing, and then it'll get off topic, and we'll end up talking for 20 minutes when it could have just been an answer via text. You know, it could have been something quick. But is that going to get me to my next goal? Possibly. It just depends on how that conversation leads. And Grant Cardone really talks about making sure that those meetings and those things that you have scheduled are revenue generating. Are they going to lead to additional business? Mm-hmm. Are they going to lead to future business? Are you having meetings that are just to like chat and catch up with old friends? Or are you meeting with someone for lunch that you have a business opportunity with? Can you collaborate on something? Is there a mutual way to you send them business and they'll send you business, or referrals, or additional agents for my office, or you know my new company that I launched? Is there opportunities in each, I guess, thing on your calendar? Are you tracking that? And how much time are you wasting each day? I go home at night some days and I'm like, man, I give myself an F for today. I just give myself an F.
Yeah, and if you're not honest with yourself like that, then you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to grow.
Man, and when I do, the next day I'm back on it. Like, I gotta get focused. Mm-hmm. You got to stay focused. And what is your end goal? And some of it does, you know, you're going to hit hiccups in the road. You're going to hit times when you're working on a project and it doesn't go the way you want it, and it sets you back a couple days. But are you still making progress towards that end goal? Right, I think that's key.
Yep, I agree completely.
Yep. And there's a lot of that goes on in my day too. You know, there's a lot of things that don't, you know, that I don't plan, and you got to adjust, but you got to still focus on what the end result is. Like I said before, I always, anything that I do, even when I'm talking to people or meeting new people, if it doesn't have some kind of goal to my end accomplishment, then, you know, I don't do it. You know, I always try to do something that's going to be beneficial to me. I'll talk to anybody or do anything that I need to, but as long as it's moving me forward towards helping or my goals.
I think part of that is making sure you tell people what your goals are.
Mhm.
I mean, you get accountability with your goals if you're willing to share those goals and you're willing to tell them. Like, everyone does have this feeling of wanting to help someone. If I know what your goals are, then man, if I can help you hit your goal, that doesn't cost me anything.
Right.
That isn't anything. And that goodwill that I've generated by helping you hit your goal, it's going to pay off in the end, because one day you're going to be in a position that you could help me, and you're going to be like, yeah, she helped me and I'm going to help her too. And I think that's the network, right? That's the network that you build.
Yeah. Very strong.
That's critical. I mean, you mentioned the accountability, and again, I think that's one of the things that Zig Ziglar's talking about too. Why people don't do it is because it's like, oh, hold on, if I tell you, you mean you might actually follow up on me to make sure I'm doing it, But we have to be honest with ourselves, and if we really want something, I think we have a tendency to make it like rocket science. But it's not rocket science. If we really want something, we have to be willing to be honest with ourselves. We have to be willing to be humble. We have to be willing to be accountable. And then we have to be willing to take action. You know what I mean? I've told so many people about some things, right? A lot of friends, family. And, it's like they just, oh, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And it's like, no, you don't. You don't want to do it, because if you wanted to do it, you would be doing it already. I wouldn't have to tell you like 2 or 3 times. It's like, you don't want to do it. And my thing is, and Angela, you corrected me in my comment, in your comments about fear. My thing is, I learned from a very early age, you can always make a decision. And if it's the wrong decision, I can make another decision. So,
Right.
I have eliminated the fear of making decisions. It's like, you know what? I make wrong decisions all day long. So I'm not going to fear making a decision. If I'm wrong, I'll just make another decision. That's okay.
Yep.
And people don't understand is that these goals, I hear it every day. It's a big thing now. I hear it from all kinds of influencers. You're going to fail. You have to fail. If you don't fail, or if something doesn't go right, you make a decision and it's not the right decision, that's you failing. You fail to move forward. You're gonna fail.
Right.
That's something.
But I keep going back to Grant Cardone, and he says, if you fail, this life is the only thing that you can go all in every time. So if you're going to have a goal, go all in. Like when you're gambling, you go all in and you lose all your chips and you're done. And you get no more replays. Right? But in life, you go all in and it doesn't work out tomorrow, you can go all in again with a revised plan. Life is the only thing you've got where you have unlimited supplies of energy and abilities to act on your goals and your the activities that you need to hit your goals. You can go all in every single day, which you should do. You should do.
Yeah, I agree. I love that. It's just a matter of understanding, like if I shoot high and I aim high and I fail, I'm typically going to still come out way ahead of where I was had I never taken an opportunity to do it at all. So, so I'm falling forward. I'm failing forward, as they say, right? And as long as I'm moving forward, I'm in a better position than where I was yesterday. And, and it's also important to understand that big goals, some people get intimidated by those. Okay, then set a small goal, because it really doesn't matter. Because if you set small goals and you achieve those small goals, then you'll set another small goal and eventually you'll get to the big goal. So if it's too big, it's like we talked about the elephant, like how do you eat the elephant piece by piece? Okay, well then set a small intermediate goal, right? But set that big goal and then just back down to where you feel like it's accomplished. It's something you can accomplish or something you can do to where it's not intimidating. But ultimately we have to set a goal. We have to take a chance, and it's okay to fail and just make bad decision. And if I make a bad decision, I'll just make another one. And you know what? Hey, that's fine.
And setting goals isn't just, you got to set your extremely big goals. You got to set big goals. You got to set small goals, and you got to set little goals, and you have to do that. You got to do it like that. You can't just do, oh, I got this big dream and that's it. You do want it all big. You want that huge goal that you're going to keep reaching for. But but you got to also have the medium-sized goal. You got to have your daily goals. You got to have your quarterly, monthly, yearly goals, and then you got to have your 5-year and 10-year, and then if you have a big goal, then put it out there. But you got to have all those together, all in one. You got to see.
Grant Cardone talks about how people, like, one of the biggest mistakes people make is that they only set the little goals because those are achievable, and they keep hitting the little goals. But guess what? The little goals, they don't inspire you. Like, you're not going to jump out of bed at 6 a.m. every day to hit your goals if your goal is this little achievable goal that you're like, I could achieve that by tomorrow, with limited activity.
Mm-hmm.
Your goal has to be big enough to where it motivates you every day to try as hard as you can to hit that goal. And then in your smaller goals have to be aligned with your big goal. Like, if you want to be a multimillionaire, setting a goal of $1,000 is not gonna get you there. What can you do that's gonna get you to your big goal? And what activities do you need to do each day to actually get you where you want to go?
Right.
And I think if you set really small goals, you take really small actions, you've got to have that big goal in mind that gets you motivated and jazzed and pumped every day. And you're like, I can't wait to get to work because I got big dreams, and I've got to do my today's part of that big dream in order to hit that goal in the future. And I think when people start hitting those milestones too, it does help motivate, man. Because when you do first hit your first $40,000 week in loans, I'm not sure if that was that $40,000 a week or $40,000 a month?
Yeah, monthly.
Yeah, when you do hit your first one, you're like, holy shit, I'm doing it. I'm making that happen. And then that motivates you.
Yeah.
But then you'll have somebody that comes along and says, Stephen, why is your goal so small? $40,000 is about half of what you should set your goal. And if you took the activities that you needed to hit $80,000 a month, then $40,000 a month will come so much faster. Of course, everyone has their own what they want to do, and if hitting $40,000 a month is not really the true goal, it's the ends to the goal. It's what will allow or afford you to live a specific type of lifestyle, or to purchase the kind of things, or to pay for your kids' college, or whatever those things are you want to do. And you really have to identify in your goals what do you want to do with $40,000 a month? Because once you have $40,000 a month, after a few months, you've run out of things to like buy with $40,000 a month, and you no longer feel as motivated about $40,000 a month. So what do you want to actually be? You want to be the largest contributor in your church. You want to be the biggest not-for-profit that gives back to your community of something that you believe in. You want to be able to pay for your college and be debt-free, or like, there's got to be things that you want to do with that money beyond just making that money. And I think, a lot of people, they sell themselves short with what they're capable of. They default to comfort, comfort and stability. Like, well, and I get this a lot in real estate, and Carlos, you probably see it too. I could hit the phones, and I could go show these properties, but that's exhausting, and truthfully, I have other things I want to do. I want to do this with my kids today. I want to go to the pool with my kids. And you can find ways to justify your decisions. Well, I'm spending this time with my family, but that's that's got to be built in to your plan, right? That has to be, you have to schedule your time. Your kid time or your family time is blocked out. And I say that's priority, right? That's first on your calendar. Put that on your calendar. But then when those times are not on your calendar, then you should be hitting it full steam on your goals. And if you're not, then you're not living up to your capability. You're not doing all that you can do to hit your goals.
Agreed.
Yeah, I've said that before, Stephen. Remember, it's one of those things that if you're not setting that up, if you're not setting those goals to achieve more, then it's going to be difficult. And I love it.
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree completely. Well, this is good stuff, man. And I know that we have a limited amount of time on our calendars for some unscheduled or unplanned activity.
Right. I was just thinking that this is not on my calendar for today.
But I appreciate you joining us, and it's obviously always good to see you, my friend. And so I'm going to give you guys a time back. We have 1 minute till 10 o'clock, so I'm going to give you guys a last minute to just to say goodbye. How we can find you guys, and last minute tip. Any last minute tips?
Go ahead, Angela.
Hey, if you're looking for a place to land, Wingman Realty, we're looking and we're growing. So come by and check us out.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And you can, and I love if anybody needs any help with goals, or I love doing that. It's been a big thing since I was little. And I mean, I'm talking little, when I was 19, 20 years old, I've been setting these goals and I've loved it and I worked for it. And you got to put your family in there and you got to put your work in there. And if anybody needs any help, I'm here. So, and you can Google me, Carlos Ceballos Hustle. You'll find me on Google.
Yeah, and I can attest both of you guys are just good people willing to give anything to help people. Having had the pleasure of knowing both of you and working very closely with you guys for a while, both of you have great hearts and are so willing to help anyone, so freely, right? And excellent resources. So my last is just hey, don't fear making decisions. Just take action, make a decision. If it doesn't work, so what? Make another decision.
That's right.
That's my takeaway. So, all right, guys. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks so much, and have a great weekend. Hopefully, we get some better weather.
Thanks, Angela, for popping on this last minute. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.